wasn't that a pretty little ditty? I don't know what it's called. It's too pretty for Corona, but I don't know. Something I'm working on. Anyway, today's sounds are brought to you by those two right there. Really nice mid-priced Telecasters. Really impressed with the artist. I didn't want to keep it, but I just really like it. I was planning on selling it, or to a student, something, but I had to see if a cheap guitar like that was worth anything. And dang, if I don't love that thing, it's really nice. I love the humbuckers. When you split them, they are nice and quiet, and they sound really good. Very quacky, like a telly should be. And then when you unsplit them and turn them back into the ball buckers, it barks. The thing's great. Anyway, today we're going to give you some sounds from this Ibanez TSA15. The things I really like about it is that it's very quiet. No major hum or anything like that. It's got an effects loop. It has a tube screamer as part of it, which we'll check out in a second. It takes pedals really good, and we'll show you what that sounds like as well. And the only downside, I think, to the TSA15 is that it's a quieter amp. It does have a low mode and a high mode, high power mode, low power mode. I was playing it in the low power mode, but you'll see that the volume was cranked, and it's still a clean sound. It's just at the edge of breakup, which is kind of appealing. It's not real loud, but it is a dedicated clean channel amp. And then the tube screamer works real nice as just a mellow addition, like that lead part over the beginning. That was just the tube screamer, and it's got a real nice old style tube screamer overdrive. It's not real crazy or real hairy. It's just a real smooth overdrive. And I'll show you in a second. You can turn the overdrive all the way down and the level up, and you do just get that past breakup kind of tone. So there's a lot of tonal variety. I would be comparing this to a Tweaker 15, and I think compared to a Tweaker 15, this is head and shoulders above that for its chiminess, its presence, and the tonal variety. Even though the Tweaker has those switches, it still doesn't have the overall tonal pleasure that this one does. Also, another thing to note about this is it sounds really good with the bass and the treble about halfway. So there's plenty of bass on board, which is a cool thing, and there's plenty of treble. The tube screamer on that side, the tone knob will give you treble above what the dedicated clean channel has, which is also really neat. So you can have, when you hit the foot switch for that, you can have a nice and bright overdrive effect, and or not so bright. This is the pedal that comes with it. Ooh, where is it? There it is. Overdrive and boost. The sounds the best, I think, with the boost always on, which is the way I tend to run it. However, if you're running a real heavy overdrive pedal, or a pedal that's really thick, like a Dracaris from Wampler, then you would probably want to turn the boost off, because the Dracaris is a real thick pedal. So if you're running an overdrive that's naturally thick, you can turn the boost off and love it. What else is there to say? I haven't had any problems with it. I like it. It's cool. It's white. This is a PV cab, running the Telecasters through this. We'll get to some pedals in a second. I think that's all I wanted to say. So enjoy. All right, so I did want to say that I had my decibel meter in the room, and it was approaching 103 at its loudest on some of those clean chords or the dirt stuff. So not a really loud amp. However, let's take a look at the backside here. Front, boom, beautiful. Okay. Now the backside though, we've got instead of half power, low power, high power, it's actually 15 watts and 5 watts. And the when you run it on 15 watts, it is a little bit louder, noticeably louder. I think I've measured it about 6 dB louder, which is a bit. But I like it in 5 watt mode because I can crank the volume and it's still not too loud. But lots of speaker variations as well. 4 ohm, 2/8, 1/8 or 2/16 or 1/16 right there. And then you've got the foot switch and the send return for the effects loop. But very clean in the back. 6v6 tubes. And you can adjust the bias fairly easy. There's test points inside, which I'm going to do next. I'm going to take this apart and pull the chassis and see what that looks like. Check the bias, and I have a brand new pair of 6v6 tubes, JJ's, because I got this used from Reverb. Paid around $200 for it, which is also about what you pay for a tweaker. But it seems like it was $179 plus shipping. But with tax and everything, it was about $200. It was a really good deal. But we'll take a look at the inside, and I may throw, it sounds fine. I may throw those new tubes in though, since I have it out, put new tubes in, bias them, and then throw it back together and see if it's any better. But I think it's a great alternate to Fender 6v6 just because of the options. Gives you lots of spank with your Strats or your Telecasters. It's not going to be a heavy metal or hard rock type amp. It just isn't, I don't think, designed for that. Anyway, now this space is empty, and we're going to put the EVH back over there for a while and run it through that dual greenback cab, because I've been getting the itch to put that back over there and put the back on this cabinet so it's closed up, and slide the EVH over there for a while. Get that out of my system. All right, so we'll see you all. Stay well, and take care of yourselves and other people. Wash your hands. See you later.